Hey, Shalom, Yahba Shem Yashar Brakatah to my brothers, Yahweh Shemar Level Shem Yashar, peace and love to that one bar. Coming to you live once again. This is the Lashawan Qadash, the Hebrew, our ancient tongue, of course, though. It's the language in which that our forefathers, our forefathers spoke. It's our history, it's our heritage. Unfortunately, in today's term, or today's day and age, we have forgot. We have forgot, you know what I'm saying? Our language, it was taken from us, it was stripped from us. We have been given this bastardized language called English. You understand? Like, that's not our language that we spoke, of course, though. And our job is to come back to who we are as a people. To understand that we were a great people, of course, though. But we first have to realize that this Bible is about us. And we have to learn, you know what I'm saying, our heritage. Stop getting into, Christianity. Stop getting into, Islam. Stop getting into all this other nonsense, Buddhism, Rastafarianism. Stop doing all that. It's not giving us who we are. The essence, it's not allowing us to be our very best. It's actually making us weaker. It's making us, like the other nations, man. So instead of us following him, saying we should go back and lead. And part of that comes with just learning our language, and that's the Hebrew. And with that being said, we'll start the class off with, if you do not have your Hebrew alphabet, let me know. You know what I'm saying? We'll go ahead and get that for you so that we can go over, you know what I'm saying, go over this together. You have something to study with and base on everything that you're going off of, all right? So we'll start off with the alphabet, of course. Slocky, I thought I was going to get the whole thing on the board, though, but I didn't. We can do shot. All right. So first thing first, what we're looking at the alphabet. This is in the Lashawan Qadash. This is the Holy Tongue, the ancient Hebrew that we're seeing right now on the board. All right. Starting off with the Aba, Ga, Da, Ha, Waza, Ka, Ta, Ya, Kalama, Nasa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Sha, and Ta. All right. And this is what it looks like. We'll write down the ancient, or not the ancient, but the Assyrian in a bit, because this is what, like, the text that we read after. Most of them are written. So Ba, right. So, man, hold up. So starting from the right to the left, it's the ah, ba, the ga, the ha, the da, the ha, the wa, the za, the ka, and the ta. All right, that's from right to left. So you got the ya, the ka. You got the ya, you got the ka, the la, the ma, the na, the sa, the I, the pa, the taza, the ra, the sha, and the tha. All right. "22 letters of the alphabet, right? 22 characters of the alphabet. If you've been in class, you would have noticed that we did all the alphabet with the exception of the qua. All right. So it goes taza, qua, ra, sha, tha. All right. I would be inserted right here. This is where it would be. All right. The qua would be inserted right there. So as we were going over the last class, of course, though, we were saying to Shema, all right, to watch. We should always be watching. So if it was something in which that it was not a mistake, right? If it was something in which that was not paying, attention to, you would have been following and doing all this stuff without the qua. The Lashawan Qadash, I'm saying it has the qua. So you would have completely missed that most likely. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Assyrian. That way, we can move on to the class, the specifics of what we're going into for tonight. All right. Go ahead and practice writing this down. Make the corrections if you had it incorrect. Make the correction. All right. move this out the way real quick. All right. So, all right. As we're looking at this, the Assyrian. This is the ah, ba, ga, da, ha. Okay, so here, let's point this out. There's a gap. All right. Zoom in a little bit. See that? There's a gap. So the ha has a gap right here. Okay. The wa looks like the na, but the na, you know what I'm saying, is elongated at the end. The ta kind of looks like a tilted T. The ka looks like a double T. The ta sort of looks like a U with like a, yeah, it's like a U. The okay, the ya and the ka. This is the first This is the first letter in the alphabet that has, or first character in the alphabet that has two characters for it. In the Assyrian, the first one is just the ka at any phase through a word. But this right here is the ka at the end of the word, the end of the word. So let's just say Barak. You know what I'm saying? Barak, you know what I'm saying? Which is Baraka. The ka, you know what I'm saying? This would have at the end. All right. Then we have the la. So I can bear with me for just a moment. You have the la, you have the ma, you have the na. Once again, these two are at the end. This is similar to the wa, but it is elongated, obviously. Uh, the ma at the end of the word is similar to like a thumb, like a thumb, speaking like a group of brothers. Similar to the sa, but notice that there's a difference, right? This is definitely always at the end. This is in the middle of a word. So the sa, then you have the I, the pa, which is like an upside down G, right? Upside down G. Once again, you have like a fish hook for the pa, the taza. And then we come back down here. So this is the ra, the qua. This is the ra, sha, ta. Make sure you go ahead and write all this down. If you have not done it, you should have this in your alphabet book or your Hebrew language book. Each week we will go over these things, give y'all a brief moment, and then we are going to jump right into where we had left off, which goes back into the tenses and how it's supposed to be written. All right, so let's go ahead and clear this out real quick. Get ready to it. So we're looking at the word shamar, right, which is to watch. So shamar can be like used to like to watch, to guard, but shamar is the word that we're building off of today. We were still in the present tense. So give it a shot. Give it a try to see if you can figure that out. All right. So this right here. So on the right side we have the ah, the tha, and the ma, right? So we should look at that and see that as in what? A thumb, right? A thumb. So a thumb, the sha, the wa, the ma, ra, ya, and the ma, right? A thumb, sharamaria. A thumb, sharamaria. What does that look like? Looks like this. That's a thumb, right? It's a thumb because the ah and then the tha, right? Ah, tha, and because it's connected, the ma drops off the a. So a thumb, then it picks up right here, sha, wa, ma, ra. So I missed it. Nobody caught it. What did I miss? Slap me. The shawa mar. It's not shawarmara, it's shawarmar. Shawarmar yam. So Shawa, and now this is how I noticed it as I'm writing it out. It's like, oh snaps, I made a mistake again. So the Sha, the Wa, the Ma, and that's where it's like, oh, the Ra. So for the men, that is you watching. All right, you watching. For sisters, all right. For the sisters, it's a thun, Shavamar Yath, Shavamar Yath. All right. Once again, that is the feminine, right? Or that's the female plural, feminine plural. On the right side, we have the masculine, and on the left side, we have the feminine. So that breaks down as to you watching. One's feminine, one's masculine. On the right hand side, we have the masculine version of you watching. On the left hand side, we have the feminine of you watching. All right. Slagia. Man. Once again, going back to our you watching, right? A thun, Sha, Wa, Ma, Ra, Wath. This is the Wa. What I put, right? I put the Ya from a thumb, Sharamariam, versus a thun, Sharamar Wath. Sharamar Wath. So if you had that misspelling, as I did, that lets you know you got to pay attention. You should be watching. You should be paying attention. All right, you have all these characters. They're isolated. You should be attempting to write it yourself. And then we'll find the corrections if we need to. All right? All right. Now, let's go ahead and get the rest of this. Because we're basically, we're pretty much done with it. But, what? All right. So we got Hama Shah, Hama Shah, Wa Ma Ra, Ya, and Ma. That's on the right side. So give it a try. See if you can write it down. It still has the Shawamar, right? Shawamar socket. Shawamar and the Yam. So Shawamar Yam. The only change here really is in the start of this, right? You see instead of a thumb, it's now what? Ham. Ham. This is Ham. So right? This is the Ham. Ham. Got the Shah. Shah, Wa, Ma, Shabama, yeah. So looking at this, right, we should get it and we should start to understand like, oh, there's just slight changes. That is, they watching. Ooh, they. All right. Just focusing on the left side, of course. Focusing over here on the left side, we see what? We see the ha. So, just break it down simple. If you don't know it, just write down the ha. Of course, you know this is the ma. Since this is here, you know to drop the A. So it goes Ham, Shah, which is, singular. It's by itself. So Shah, drop the Ma. Oh, sliding. Completely left out the Y. There we go again. Moving too fast. So the Shah, Y, Mar, right? So Hum, Shawamar, Yath. This is Ham Shamawar Shawamar Yath. Ham Shawamar Yath. Of course, I'm saying that is they watching. They watching. Feminine. I know y'all sisters, y'all use that a lot. Hey, they watching us. Who? Them over there. But that concludes, what I'm saying, the present tense, of course. So what we're going to do, we're going to shift over from the present still going to use Shema, right? Don't keep it separated. But write this down. Oh, so I can't see that. All right. So that's Shema on the right. On the left, I, Ba, Ga. Ra. I, Ba, Ra. Right? So I bar. I bar. The past. I bar. So we are going to go into the past tense. All right? Once again, we told you that we were dealing with the tenses here. Almost perfect. Right. Like it?
Still live.
Okay. All right. So, as we're looking at this on the board, of course, though, right? This is like it's Anya Shamarathia. Shamarathia. That's on the right hand side. On the left hand side, it's Atha Shamartha. All right, so one says I watched, the other says you watched. You watched. Past tense. So these are both masculine, these are both feminine. They can be used in both senses. All right. So make sure y'all write that down in your notes. All right. So one on the right hand side, right? You got Hawa Shamar. Hawa Shamar. So as you can see, like, say for example, you know what I'm saying, we were actually reading the scriptures, right? We're reading the scriptures, of course, though, and it's kind of like you're going to come across this. Oh, it's like, there we go. It's the ha, the wa, the ah. All of this is changing Shamar from present to past tense. All right? It's changing it from present tense to past tense, from future tense. These are words. So as we're going over scriptures and we're reading, like, you know, and the Lord spoke, or and the Lord said, right? And Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? And God spoke to Moses. So like, you know, like the wa is like the in, and the ha is like the he. So and he, and of course the difference is when it's in the placement. So in this case, it is he watched. He watched. That is simply like this. It's the ha, it's the wa. Right? It's the ha, the wa, the ah, shamar. It's all of this is singular. Or yeah, singular. It's not connected. So hawa ah shamar. Hawa ah shamar. It may take you a little bit of time, you know, to get used to saying it though, but hawa ah shamar. Just like if we're going over to the left side, right? We're looking at the feminine. We got the ha, right? The ya, the ah, and this is all singular or non-connected. So we got the ha, ya, ah, shamar, shamar, shamara, shamara. That's the connector. So we got the ha, the ya, the ah, the hawa ah, shamara. So hawa shamara, which is she watched. He watched, she watched. So, write it down, put it in your notes, that this is no longer the present tense, this is the past tense. On the right-hand side, we have the masculine. On the left-hand side, we have the feminine. So, he watched, she watched. And as we see in both instances, you have all of the changes for the root, which is shamar, right? Shamar. All the changes for the root essentially at the front end of the word. The characters are in the front. So the ha, ya, ah, sha, shamara. So this is her actions. He watched, she watched. All right, let's go ahead and finish this off so that we can get done with the past tense and we can move on to the future tense. Of course, though, these things are all they're all relevant. Not or shamar. Okay. So we got ah, right? That's the ah. Same look. Then we have knock. So a knock. knock, knock. Wah. Knock, knock, wah. Sha, that's that root word. Shamar. That's the root. Now. Oh, now. That's like R, right? In this case, it is we. So, like, we already went over how now, that's like, it's possessive of R. So, when we say like Abanawa, right? You see now. So, once again, so Abba as in father, but now as an R. So in this case, it's Anak, Nawa, Shamar, Nawa. So as you can see with this, at the front end of this, this is the front of it, this all right here, which is changing the tense of it. So Shamar, which is to watch. This is we watch. This is we watched, as in the past. So to watch, to guard, we watched, we guard. We watched, past tense. And we watched, right? Kind of think like that. That's we watched. We watched. Anak Nawa, Shamar Nawa. Anak Nawa, Shamar Nawa. We watched. So if you didn't know, Nawa was to watch. Nawa was R, even though we've gone over it. Oh, sorry, if I didn't go over it already, I bar, which is the past, right? I bar, which is the past. So what we're going over is the past tense of the word shmar. We've already, gone over most of it. There's a few parts left to it. give y'all a moment to just to play around with that. All right. So what we should be looking at here is that this is what? Thumb. All right. Thumb. A thumb. Shamar thumb. And then the sisters. A thumb. So Yahweh Shamar ala thun. A thun. It's plural, right? A thun. Once again, this is your root. This is your root. So we have a thumb, shamar thumb, and then a thun, shamar thun. You watch masculine plural. You watch feminine plural. So on the right side, we got Ham, Shamarwa, and then Han, Shamarwa. Should sound familiar, right? Should sound something familiar. They, feminine, they, masculine. The difference is ha. Oh, slap. There we go. So, as you see, ham, masculine, wa, which is also they. When we read the prayers, right? Especially when we what is it? Psalms 83. Is it Psalms 83? They have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. Yea. Let's talk about them. They. All right. You may hear us. Wa. Allah. So as we're reading this and we're going over this, it's like they watched. They have what? Consulted against thy hidden ones with one consent. So like Waya the Iowa, right? Which is like Waya the Iowa, Kaya Atha, Shabkat Yahweh, Labatka, Al-Yawan. So verse 18 of Psalms 183, which says that men may know that thou, right? Basically, that they, that them, that the men. I'm saying so. Wayed the Iowa. So as we looking at here and we're following through Ham Shamar, Shamarwa, Ham Shamarwa, and Han Shamarwa. They feminine, they masculine. That's what the breakdown is. They watched, he watched. It's like if they watched, feminine. They watched, masculine. So it's our job, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that we are watching, paying attention, taking notes, though. And we'll better understand the scriptures. We'll better understand, everything that's going on. So with that, we're going to what can we put up? What can we go over real quick? We could probably say just one word. And war. War. so two common verbs, two common words. All right. So on the left-hand side, we have Shawar, right? Shawar. Shawar is Strong's H778. Seven seven eight seven. Shana'a, which is Strong's 8130. So Shawar, which is to turn aside. Turn aside. They said, hey, it ain't in the Bible. Well, it is. It is. Shana'a, Shana'a. All right. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all have taken notes, of course, though. Tune in tomorrow for the Sabbath service, of course. So-called Black Hispanic Native Americans. So we're going to end the class right there real quick. ISUPK announcements. We're at ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the leadership of Commander Junior High, root for new brother and sister, with a new brother and sister coming to the school. They're off limits for 6 months. They're here to salute themselves. They're here to be saluted only. They're here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, it's like, oh, let me read this correct. They are to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to another brother or sister. After this 6 months, the brother and sister will. After this 6 months, the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is commandments. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew. My Ishua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives to you, gives to the treasury department teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocations, the Feast of Tabernacles, Monday, for the span of 8 days. It's the 15th day for 8 days. Monday, the 20th. That's Monday, this coming Monday. Monday the 20th. For a span of 8 days. To Tuesday, September 28th. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 34 through 44, though. Once again, so these are days that we are supposed to keep from the Most High. With that, if anyone wants to be a trooper in school, start wearing out black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barak. On curse to Sister Saul. Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Lathan Ba'Shem Yahushua, Yazamata, class dismissed.